Hi all. This is just a sort of a demo that I'm trying to present for the first mixed reality experiences proof of concept that we have developed for the Dynamics 365 group. Uh, so, well, before we go on to the demo, so let's first start to understand how the device looks like. So let's this is a sort of simple agenda that I've set in place, a quick glance at the device and what it takes to actually develop proofs of concept on the HoloLens device. How do you set up the HoloLens? What are the pros and cons currently today with the hardware, and what is the plan of this proof of concept? A quick demo, and what are the connects that we have established within Microsoft from the Microsoft Business App Summit, where I got the opportunity to meet a bunch of folks from the engineering, from the HoloLens team and the mixed reality team who are doing a lot of work in HoloLens, and they are coming up with a lot of POCs. So this is a quick 7-point agenda for today's discussion. So a quick glance at the device. So when we buy the hardware, it comes with basically 6 important things in the box. The HoloLens device itself, which is like the headset. There is a clicker, which is more of a mouse, a sort of a pointing device when it comes to the virtual reality headsets. This clicker is there for almost all the other competitive products like Oculus or Google Glass, but however, we will, as we move forward, we'll talk about the actual usage of the clicker. Of course, the carrying case, which comes in a very fancy box for HoloLens right now, it's like almost a spaceship. Cloth, of course, the charger and the micro USB cable. So the important thing one needs to know is the various versions that HoloLens comes to the market today. Most important 2 versions is the commercial suite and the dev edition. The commercial suite has a host of things that it provides, like it has a direct connectivity to the Microsoft Store for business. It also has a kiosk mode where you can use it as a kiosk. Great data security built in within the device. Device management strategies in HoloLens, and Windows updates, continuous updates, identity management using Azure Active Directory, and work access. So the good part about the commercial suite is that it comes with a lot of capabilities today. On the bad side, it's $5,000, so it's a very expensive device. But however, since both the entire suite of HoloLens devices are still in the developer mode, we are sure that the price point is going to come down with it below $1,000 in the days as the product matures. But however, there's still a long way to go. But given the way Microsoft is putting in resources and spending the energy for the betterment of this device, I definitely feel that by the end of this, during Thanksgiving or during Christmas, there is going to be a huge announcement with some probably from new price points, or probably even we are talking about a completely new design of the headset as well, making it more convenient with the current product user feedback that has been flowing into the product design groups. The dev edition is priced at $3,300, which currently I have procured, and we are working on the POC here. But there's a significant amount of challenges with this particular dev edition because it doesn't support a host of things which commercial suite does. Also, the good news is I have checked this in the Business App Summit that Microsoft is willing to provide the commercial edition free of cost to enterprises that are developing POCs. This is more of a rental basis. They're planning to rent the device to the companies which are going to have POCs developed. So that's pretty good news for any SMBs that are going to get into this segment. Large ISVs like Infosys or TCS or Accenture, I'm sure they'll have the funding to procure their own devices. But this renting the device comes in as a great blessings for the small and medium businesses around the world. How do you develop on HoloLens? So this has been a very important area where I have focused on how to develop the your POCs on HoloLens. One needs to understand that the way the HoloLens, the development totally follows a game development pattern. So the way you develop a game is that is the way you develop a POC for HoloLens as well. So that said, any person who is familiar with designing and developing a game, a more or less a virtual reality game where you actually take into consideration the virtual space, if he or she is acquainted with that sort of model of programming, then developing on HoloLens becomes pretty easy for them. So Visual Studio is of course the fundamental thing where you actually use the Universal Windows Platform Development workload, and you select the game development Unity. So you actually select the game development with Unity as the essential workload in Visual Studio, and the HoloLens emulator and the holographic templates which are already there, so those are also needed. You need the Windows 10 update, where you have the Hyper-V emulator already installed. Unity 2017.4 is what is needed today for any development that needs to happen on HoloLens. So Unity is an engine, is a cross-platform game developed by Unity Technologies and first appeared in 2005. It's a go-to platform for any game development, and so folks who are familiar with game development, they know Unity already. So Unity provides this wonderful interface to develop your own holograms, develop your own virtual spaces, and real time and interactions with the virtual space. So Vuforia. Vuforia is a software platform for creating augmented reality apps. Developers can easily add advanced vision and functionality to this application. So these are a gamut of things that we need to have on our machine to even start exploring the proof of concept. There is how to set up HoloLens. Of course, there is a lot of steps that are needed to set up HoloLens. The great part was some of the aspects of using Cortana, the voice interface, the virtual assistant that shows up for the first time when you switch on the device, is a great blessing for people who can just get it set up via Cortana. A very strong and a seamless Wi-Fi is needed. So this is essential. That's the reason why I failed multiple times in setting up HoloLens from environments like my work environment or in Microsoft or in Infosys, where I did not have a seamless Wi-Fi. That is because the corporate policy asks us to type our username password in the browser window once we connect to the Wi-Fi, whereas that doesn't happen when we connect to a seamless Wi-Fi at home, which works on Comcast. So that becomes a very important decision making when you are setting up the HoloLens. That is the corporate network, which generally goes through various steps of authentication. First, you have to authenticate yourself on the browser, then your corporate network, then your Azure Active Directory. All that is not needed when you are doing it from home, from a high-speed Comcast connection. That becomes very important. Primary reason why I was hesitant to set up and do the demonstrations in the company was because of the Wi-Fi problem. Second thing was the charging. What I've observed is the charging is simple, but when I talk about the pros and cons of the device, we can talk more about the battery backup and battery aspects. Pairing up with the computer laptop is one essential step, and that requires some work, that requires some technical involvement. It requires tethering with the device. So I struggled a lot. I struggled for a couple of days to get it connected to the laptop, and the laptop gets connected to the TV or monitor, so that the people in the room, in the conference room, get to know what the person is wearing and what is he or she doing within the HoloLens. Because once a person wears the HoloLens, it's really difficult for one to know what's going on in there. And even if you want to sneak a peek by just standing beside him, all that is not going to work. So practically we have tried these things and it's not going to work. It's only through tethering to your PC, which gets connected to whatever display device you have. That's the way to make it work. So the third step of pairing up with the computer laptop is important. It's technical steps. You need to be patient and you need to work diligently at getting it there. Device portal. The device portal is the inbuilt portal that in Microsoft Windows 10 provides for any device that gets connected. Great options for you to manage your device, and setting up the device portal is again a tedious, cumbersome job which took me about a few hours to understand what's going on, because the way device portal behaves when your device is connected with Wi-Fi versus when your device is connected via USB is completely different. So these are two different ways to actually get the device portal enabled, and I had to do a lot of homework. It took me about a couple of hours in the night to get this done, but nevertheless I was able to get it done both on Wi-Fi as well as in USB. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are facing challenges with the Wi-Fi at wherever you are, the USB option is a good way, but that's not the right way, but it's a good hack to keep things going. All right. My initial assessment about the pros and cons of the device, I wouldn't call it cons at all, because I always, I'm an optimistic guy. I always call the cons as the areas of improvement. So if you want me to take it as pros and areas of improvement of the device, let's see what are the pros. There is a huge potential for this device, no doubt about it. I am a fan of this device right now. There's a huge potential in various areas, be it healthcare, be it education, be it entertainment, be it gaming, or be it field service, remote field service, remote assistance, OCR, virtual reality, whatever that is. It's a tremendous potential. The second great part is the whole entire HoloLens platform and the device itself is integrated into the product strategy, the overall product Microsoft product platform strategy. When they are actually pairing HoloLens with their Dynamics 365 and business apps platform as one whole monolithic solution for a business problem, that is wonderful, because it's not that this hardware is being developed in a silo environment where it is using its own operating system and all sorts of things, which is like more of a monolithic world where things are happening in silos, not interacting with the other product platforms that Microsoft is more focusing on. The good part is and we have seen that happening with other devices like Zune or other devices that Microsoft has burnt its fingers at, where their core platform, the software platform, had nothing to do with that hardware platform. Like for example, Zune or something. Microsoft tried to emulate the models that were more popular in the market, like Android or iOS, but they did not do well in that area. However, in HoloLens, I'm so sure that this is going to happen, because the way the James Phillips organization under Scott Guthrie, they are pushing D365 and HoloLens and augmented reality and mixed reality experiences as a part of the whole business apps package. That's tremendous. That's personally, this is my assessment of the situation. The huge investments and partnerships that Microsoft is pushing for HoloLens, including a few acquisitions or a few partnerships that we are hearing about, not necessarily confirmed news, but we are hearing about some wonderful acquisitions or partnerships that Microsoft is venturing upon to gain the pole position in the augmented reality space. So that's another thing which I am so sure about, which is a great positive for the product. The marketing blitzkrieg that's happening, that's amazing. However, now let's come to the areas of improvement of the device. What I personally did not like about the device is it's heavy and bulky in comparison. My kid was comfortable using it, but she felt the head was heavy after a while. So did I. So did several of my friends. So I still feel that the hardware is very heavy and bulky, and come on, if we are talking about a situation where we are expecting the field service engineers or the mechanics on the shop floor or the plumbers or the folks in the what do you call the construction industry and those kind of industries, if you are expecting them to wear this device and work on their floor shops, come on, we are not there. This device is not going to work that way. Second one, setup and development is little difficult. Being a technology person myself, the setup has been a little challenging, confusing, frustrating, and at the same time, I was not able to give the right demonstrations because of various challenges. This is not a well it's a definitely an area of improvement. I'm sure this is not a big thing, but however, the weight of the device and the bulky nature of the device is something that is seriously needs to go into the product feedback to the engineering team. I'm sure that they have it already. I know about this, and they should come up with a something more lighter, something more wearable. This is definitely not wearable, folks. Okay, and the battery has been super poor. I have realized that in 45 minutes it drains out, and I need to be, and it doesn't charge well via USB. The wall charger is needed, but then if you're working on a wall charger, your Wi-Fi is definitely mandatory, because if you're charging it with via wall, your computer doesn't talk to the device. But when it's then to make it talk to the device, when you don't have the Wi-Fi, you mandatorily have to hook it to your USB, and when it hooks it to USB, the charge goes down considerably, and from the USB it doesn't charge well. So it's like a catch 22 situation, right? So we need to work there. Lots of work needs to happen in the battery performance. And yeah, immediately the built-in memory, the device comes with 60 gigabytes of memory, the developer edition, which I have, and that 60 GB is just not enough. When my child just created a small video, it took up 32 GB of space, and there was hardly anything left for us to do anything, so I had to delete it. So this is an area, and I don't see any extension socket or a way to extend the memory on the device right now. All right. The Wi-Fi has been a problem. The use cases need to refine, and yeah, current and most. Thank you so much for bearing with me. This was my first assessment of the device. Thank you. Thanks a lot.